Hi, welcome to the first episode of Never Had a Boyfriend with me, Katie Green. Today I'm joined with a very good friend of mine, Evaldas Karosas. He's a very talented comedian. He always gives me very honest advice, and I'm so excited to share this conversation with you, and I hope you enjoy.
Never had a boyfriend with Katie Green.
We are here to talk about why Katie Green doesn't have a boyfriend in a podcast that is, well, if a podcast was a biological clock, that's what I would say. What I'm going to say is, Katie, you message me all the time asking for advice on men because I'm a guy who is, who's willing to give advice. And I stopped now because my advice was going in through one ear and then leaving out through the other. So what she did is she created a podcast so I can come around and give more advice. And then, she promises her following. She promises views. But in reality, I reckon there is a few stories that Katie just wants to tell me where I have to explain the behavior of men.
Absolutely. That's the only reason you're here. This is the only episode that will ever be done. I printed this just for this conversation.
4 hours of us talking and me saying things that Katie's father should have said.
Oh, so close to home there. Okay. Well, welcome. Well, you basically did the intro yourself.
Yeah.
This is good. So what's your relationship status?
What's my relationship status?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. We're talking about my relationship.
Well, I guess so the listeners can know who's giving me this advice. So tell me more about you. You didn't even introduce yourself.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not about my name. It's about the quality of what I say. But I am Evaldas Karosas.
There we go. And relationship status?
My relationship status is I am in a relationship with my ex.
Fantastic. So I'm excited for this. I'm so excited for this advice.
I am in a committed relationship with a person to whom I refer my ex.
Okay. This is good.
A modern dating vocabulary would call it a very complex and intricate situationship.
Okay.
But I don't think it is.
I don't think it's a situationship because I feel like situationship, terrible for my speech impediment. But it implies...
Yeah, I have an accent too.
It implies that that it's like never going to be...
Well, I think a situationship is perceived to be something that is... Well, people don't commit in it, right? So it's a situationship if someone in that relationship is seeing other people, isn't it? Or can a situationship be something where people are exclusive, but it's still a situationship?
I think it's when it's murky, but like not an official relationship, but then like, you don't have a title of boyfriend and girlfriend. I think this is where I get confused with modern dating.
So it's like, well, I mean, in a way, it's like your joke, right? It's like a joke about how a guy you were dating, you said, can you say you love me? And he said, well, not in public.
Yeah.
So that's a situationship.
Yeah.
So you can say that you're a relationship together when you're home alone. But then if you publicly don't say that it's a relationship, I guess that is a situationship, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think there is a defined term of what a situationship is.
This is the problem.
But I think a situationship is where just the guy is winning. I think it's just the perfect. A situationship is a perfect situation for a guy.
Situationship is sexist. It values the man. No woman has ever been like, I'm happy with this.
Well, I think situationship is in a way sexist and at the same time extremely not sexist and very feminist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a situationship, like a guy in a situationship.
Yeah.
Well, because, he doesn't feel like he wants to commit, right? And since he's a feminist, he thinks that women are the same as men. So he projects that the woman also must feel like him. Right?
I don't think he's a feminist. I do not think he's a feminist.
Well, but like I could be in a situationship and I could say that I'm in the situationship because I'm a feminist.
No, I think that you'd be lying though, because I feel like guys who want to be in a situationship
But what if I wasn't? What if I said it? Like, what's your argument? Like, it's a situationship is quite feminist.
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I think it's wanting your cake and eating it too. Like,
But why is that not feminist? Because, like, why don't we both just eat our cake?
Because you're implying that that's what you want. Do both parties want the same thing?
Well, because a situationship, I guess, is a place where a guy just goes for sex but doesn't commit, right?
Yeah, but
So it's like if I'm someone who's like a feminist, right? Obviously, I'm like, well, a woman wants that too. A woman just wants sex, and it's fine, right?
what is the percentage of women that you know who are in
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
situationships?
That's sexist. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Women can just have sex and not commit.
No,
to-
that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about
What I'm doing is I'm weaponizing wokeness right now.
God, this man's so fucking annoying.
I'm weaponizing wokeness because I feel like as a guy, you can definitely be in a situationship and like you're just like, well, I'm on a journey. This is a journey, and we're both on a journey, and that journey is just met at this point. And
No, I don't think that. I think what's happening is the term situationship has come up because men don't have to commit anymore.
But why don't they have to commit?
They don't have to commit anymore because women work. No,
Right,
I don't know. You tell
Yeah, so,
me.
no,
I don't know anything about boys.
So yeah, so okay, so you think men don't have to commit anymore?
I think they don't have to commit anymore because women have been a bit more relaxed with it, I guess, maybe.
In what way? Like you don't make men commit anymore?
I don't know. I think back in the last guy I was seeing obviously was a situationship, and it was like I didn't have any boundaries. You know, it was like okay. I had that joke about how it felt like I was giving him a free trial, but he just kept on extending it. And it was just like
yeah, he kept creating a new email with you.
So
Kept creating a new email with a fake number.
it's just like so many accounts.
Yeah, he's just using you as I use Canva for 12 months.
Yeah, exactly that. And then it was like when I finally was like, you can't tell someone, okay, it's you have to pay now.
Well, I think why men don't commit is the answer is very easy.
Because they don't like you enough.
No, because they don't have to.
But why don't they have to?
Because, there's other women he wants to have sex with. And he can. So why wouldn't he?
So you're saying the only people who want to commit are people who think that how can I get someone to
Them and Christian men.
Christian men
Christian men also will commit.
just because they think it's morally correct?
Yeah, because it's family values and stuff. So a guy who has options,
Yeah.
why would he commit if not because of some morality that he has in his own head, right? And that morality has to come from somewhere.
Okay.
So it's like one part is Christianity. Well, anything that values family over hedonism. But like we're all hedonists now, right? So there is no reason for most guys to commit because, casual sex is not seen as just like, because casual sex is seen as like, oh, it's a great thing to do. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And to commit is to sacrifice all the potential casual sex you could have.
So you think everyone just wants casual sex now?
Guys do, yeah.
Guys do.
Well, I mean, guys have always wanted that.
But then
Forever.
what's changed? Morals? Like the moral compass?
No,
has
well, I
changed?
think because the moral compass has changed, yeah, because the family isn't value anymore. Then I feel like guys are, slut shaming is not just for women.
Yeah.
It's for men too. So it's like, for example, in Eastern Europe where I'm from, for example, like my mom would really be angry at me if I slept with a woman and I lied to her that I want a relationship. And then afterwards
really?
I would be like, hey, I actually, I'm on a journey now and that you're you asking for a relationship impacts my journey. I'm weaponizing therapy talk. So my mom would be angry at me. Would be like, why are you doing this?
Oh, okay. That's just like deceit, though. That's like you're lying to a woman to get her in bed, right? Like
Yeah, but like the question is like a lot of guys probably don't lie. They believe it.
they think they want a relationship.
Yeah, but then they sleep with somebody and then they're like, for some reason I don't want it anymore. Maybe she's not the one.
Is that post-nut syndrome?
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of guys, especially in the UK, because I feel like in Eastern Europe, it's just like, it's kind of, we all know that a guy doesn't want to commit once he has sex, right? I think it's kind of like a common knowledge.
Yeah.
But here, I feel like even men don't know that. So I keep hearing stories from my female friends about how guys have sex and then just disappear because they go like, oh, you know what? I actually maybe not looking for something. It's almost as if they don't know that's going to happen.
Do you think it's because they do want a relationship, but they just...
I think they just don't understand themselves as men. As a guy, you know that that's gonna happen. So you can't if you like someone and you want to have a relationship with them actually, and you're looking for a relationship, I feel like you will almost pre-plan the post-nut clarity, right?
So you'll be like, okay.
Well, so you're gonna have sex with somebody, and then as a guy, you immediately probably it's not every guy, but probably a lot of guys immediately go like, oh my god, I had sex with a girl. Like, there's so many memes on Instagram that I see about like it's just like a guy preparing food, and he's like dressed super nice, and he's like a guy before he has sex with you.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, obviously, the post-nut clarity, whatever. So it's kind of like you just prepare psychologically that this is going to happen, but this is just chemicals in your brain. So you're not going to listen to that, right? So it's almost like when you do drugs and there's going to be a come down and that you could do more drugs. But you prepare psychologically. You go, whoa, 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 this is just drugs talking now. I shouldn't.
Oh, yeah, but I think it's really hard to confuse what's the drug talk and what's the not. I think that with everybody now. No? Like... Because, I had a one-night stand, and I was so obsessed, and my friend was like, oh, you're not really obsessed, it's hormones. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Well, everything is hormones.
But I don't understand. We use a condom.
You think condom...
I don't get...
Whoa. Let's... So you think condom stops hormones?
Yes.
So you think that you put a condom on a dick, but what actually happens, there is a small condom on every cell that you have. And it stops the release of oxytocin.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Wow. So in reality, this is actually quite a good idea. I reckon in the future, there's going to be a contraceptive for women that you can inject. It's like a condom for your bonding cells.
That'd be fantastic.
Where you can have casual sex without...
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. It's like Ozempic, but for horniness.
Yeah, it's really tricky because it's like we have this talk about like men after sex, because I it's always the confusing part as a woman, especially someone who's not been in a relationship. It's like I feel like men want a woman who's got a low body count, but then also I'm torn because I'm like, okay, I want to have fun and I want to do what I want to do, but then I feel like I stop myself from doing things because I think, oh, well, this makes me lower value if I do.
Okay, so let's accept the premise that you just said. And then let's accept that men actually value lower body count and stuff. Because, I reckon most of the guys, even though they would say they wouldn't, I guess it depends on a guy.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's like if you're a Muslim guy, you want a virgin girl.
Right.
There's a lot of Muslim guys who are actually, will say that.
But then it's also where this is where the different standard comes in, because we had this conversation about that one guy. I'm like, wait, why doesn't he like me? And then I was so stressed out because I'm like, oh, well, we had sex. I'm like, does he think lower of me because we had sex?
Possibly. It's
but
possible.
He had sex with me too. So should I think lower of him?
Will you? No. Because... So, okay, let's continue the previous thought. Okay. So let's continue the previous thought of like, let's imagine that guys actually do... Let's agree with the premise that actually guys see you as lower value if you have a high body count. And then you say, well, I want to live my life the way I want to live without actually, but I don't want to live the way I want to live because that's going to result in my dating prospects getting lower.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you accept that premise, you also need to look at the guy's perspective from like, well, men have to do stuff that they probably wouldn't want to do otherwise to be liked by women.
Like what? Make money?
Well, make money, yeah. Like make money, like it's like the status thing.
Oh God, the status thing.
Yeah, it's just like you have to, like it's just like we all know what the other gender likes, and whether you like it or not. Gaming, I would like to just close myself off from the world, never work out, don't eat healthy, right? And just game and just have no ambition, because women love ambition, and it is fine. But it's just like, obviously I don't want to do that because I want to be liked by women.
But are you only ambitious because your brain chemistry is ambitious? I don't think you could not be ambitious.
I'm not talking about myself here. I'm talking just like in general, right? Because you're saying that, oh, it's annoying that I have to sacrifice something to be liked by men.
But I don't think that the average man has to do that. I think...
That's crazy to think that men don't have to sacrifice things to be liked by women.
But aren't they not doing that to be liked in general?
By what?
Just society.
What do you mean by society? Like,
I work out and I'm incredibly single.
No, but like,
and I meet a lot of guys and they work out too.
so no, but like so if I could have a crazy amount of women by gaming, I would game. Like I would do nothing else but game.
Yeah, if I could have a crazy amount of men by watching
No, I'm
superhero movies, yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying that there's specific things that men and women like, and it's pointless to be angry at that thing.
But it's like when it comes to the body count issue, it's annoying because I think maybe it's annoying to have been on the other end of being like, oh, I thought this guy liked me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like when you sleep with somebody and then they're like, oh, they didn't like me.
Mm-hmm.
Or like they just wanted to sleep with me.
No, but I don't know how you were involving the body count in here because you
Because
can because it's like
I think that this, I guess maybe it's more so sexual promiscuity. We're not, we're just like doing
well,
everybody.
women or men, it doesn't matter. But anyone who is sexually promiscuous, and there's a lot of research, is much more likely to cheat, right?
Oh yeah.
There's like this is women or men. You know, it's not about it doesn't care what gender it is. If you're promiscuous, you are more likely to cheat, and there's a lot of studies who already established that.
Yeah.
So when someone's more promiscuous, in women or men, in your head, you're gonna get a red flag that this person isn't as safe.
Right.
But the problem with the women, they don't care as much because the women really care about whether the guy is desired by other women. So a guy who is promiscuous, he's automatically is desired by loads of women, and that makes a guy hot. While I don't think it applies the other way around.
No, but you want a woman who's desired by other men.
But I don't care if she's desired as long as I find her really hot.
Really though? Don't you
Yeah,
find it
if she-
attractive that somebody
Well,
else?
I mean, a lot of people need to tell me that the fact that she has, I don't know, no eyes is like if I find someone hot,
yeah.
I don't need someone to point fingers and be like, this person is hot for me to find them even hotter. Or if they point fingers at them and say the person's ugly, that's not gonna change much. I think obviously we all are susceptible to that kind of thing.
You don't think if someone was like, oh, that girl's ugly, you would be like, oh, I don't.
You
like
know
her
why?
anymore.
Because we don't care about status. Men
Of the
don't care
woman.
about status. We obviously care about beauty, but I think because women care more about status, and a guy who is promiscuous, obviously he will have more status.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just kind of like being, why are you desirable? What makes you desirable for all these women to sleep with you?
This is where I find it a struggle when in the dating world, like being desirable, like as more so, like claimable. Someone being like, oh, I'd like to date you. This is where it's not worked ever.
What do you mean?
How do you get a guy to be like, yes, I want to be with you?
Yeah, that's a great question because
Yeah, that's why I asked.
my answer 3 months ago would be quite a concrete answer.
Really?
Yeah, like 3 months ago, I would have said guys are really fooled by any display of motherly femininity.
Okay.
So it's like, anything like that shows caring and supportiveness or whatever. Guys just
Okay.
just listen and nod when the guy speaks. And then he was like, oh, what a fuck, she's amazing.
Okay.
Guys are stupid like that. But I don't know if that's enough anymore because of all my, female friends, including you. They keep they keep dating. And I think that they're doing everything correctly and doing shit that a guy would find hot. But then guys still don't commit.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, I just think that the current society just doesn't. Men have no reason to commit. I don't know how to do that because I think most men just don't want to commit
Right.
because they don't have to.
I think in my case, it's been like I've allowed them to not commit. I've given them the whole thing and then being like, okay, now.
Yeah.
And so why would they?
Yeah. So it's like as long as.
Like you had boundaries.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you didn't allow, would they have stayed or would they have just walked away?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the question. Because most of the time they just walk away now. I think what's happening now is instead of lying to women, guys are lying to themselves.
Yes.
Which
Women,
is
we all lie to ourselves, though.
Which is much worse. Because a fuckboy who's at least like knows he's a fuckboy has a chance of, becoming a better person.
Yeah.
But a fuckboy who's not even aware what he's doing, a fuckboy who genuinely thinks he's out there to find a relationship, but ends up just lying and lying and lying. How can he learn and stop hurting people if he doesn't even know what he's doing?
Well, this is the problem, I think, with everyone. It's
And
like,
then they go to therapy, and the therapist is like, again, this is great what you're doing because it's like your journey, whatever.
no, but I think what happens is I feel like loads of people just don't know what they want.
Well, because we want simultaneous things at the same time.
Yeah.
We know what they want. We know what we want.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it kind of it doesn't match with what the other person wants.
Right.
So it's like we know what they want, but every choice is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
So it's like a man now who lies to himself. He thinks that he can get everything without, as you said, have your cake and eat it too.
This conversation makes me angry because it just feels like there's no hope. Sometimes I have a conversation like this and I'm like, it's going to be like this forever.
I don't know if there's no hope. I mean, we're generalizing.
Yeah, I'm generalizing, but also after having done the work.
Because it's like what you're saying is that for you, hope is completely related to a relationship. So it's like by saying no hope, you almost make it sound that life itself is nothing without a relationship.
I think that.
I mean, fair enough, fair enough.
So what I do really think, and obviously I spent a good portion of my life alone, the entirety.
Yeah, a good portion is 95%.
It's just been a lot.
A big portion.
And it does feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, what is the purpose of life doing this alone? I think it would be so much better to like have an experience. Like I used to travel alone and I used to do all this and I used to like it. But then it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, I don't want to go to Bali alone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that.
Like and it doesn't need to be like a boyfriend. Obviously I would like it to be a boyfriend, but I just do think it's like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I want to share my day with somebody. I want to do, and it doesn't even have to be romantic. Even platonically, when I'm with people, it's better. But then what happens is they get relationships, and so.
Well, I have a friend who's had a child not too long ago, and I was speaking with him, and it's his first child, and I asked him, I was like, "Well, did you experience the love? People say that they have a child and they look at him for or her for the first time, and then they experience this love that is unconditional that you never experienced before." And I was like, "Well, did you have that?" And he goes, "Let's not." He was like, "What I realized is that we're all pretending that life is not about children."
I mean, I think this is a very good point. Mm-hmm. I see loads of people right now. I think I notice pregnant women so much more now.
Yeah, me too. I have to give them my seat.
But I do think it's like, yeah, I think sometimes I see kids and I'm like, I used to not want kids. I was like, no.
Well, because the argument in favor of having kids, right? In favor of having a kid is that, again, you're going to experience unconditional love.
Yeah.
You get to watch someone become like a person.
Yeah.
And you grow with them. You mature as a person. So that's the argument for having kids. Well, a few arguments. And then the argument for not having kids is that you can go to Tenerife.
Yeah, but
so it's like, I mean, obviously the former sounds better. Tenerife, how many DJs can I listen to?
Well, that's the thing. I think you get over it. Things become more fun with the company that you have, and like that's hoping that your kid is like, I've never fully envisioned myself with kids until this year, and until I started like the other day I ran 2 blocks for an ice cream van, and it was me and this.
I can see it. It's funny that you were chasing the ice cream van and you burned all the calories that you're gonna consume when you get the ice cream.
Yeah, that's great. Works for me.
It's so funny. You're chasing the ice cream van and they stop and they're like, "Go 1 more block, 1 more block, and then I'll buy."
No, but I was running. It was
That's
me.
really funny, It's funny to imagine you chasing an ice cream van and even kids give up.
No, but I was running
Kids
with
are
a
running,
kid.
so I can't anymore. And I'm like, fuck you. I'll do it. That's also, it's funny to imagine that you dress up to go for a run and
Yeah.
then you can't get motivated to run
Until there's an ice
until
cream
you see
van.
an ice cream van.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That is, so, but I was running with this kid the whole time for 2 blocks. And we both had backpacks and we were so excited.
That's so
And-
funny. He's looking at you, he's like, this is sad, lady.
But I'm like, oh, I could have a kid if it's like this kid. You know, I'm like,
You're both going to run
we're both running for the ice cream van.
and there's only one ice cream left. And you're like, I'm sorry, I'm having it. That's unbelievable. That's
Yeah.
very funny that you did that.
But it does make it seem like, oh, there was camaraderie. I'm like, that'd be cool to have someone to do this with. That's my child.
It's great that you wanted to be, you experienced the pleasures of motherhood
And I didn't even have
by chasing an ice cream van for 2 blocks together with a child. You're running, you look at this child and you're like, I'd like to be a mom.
Yeah, that was it.
This is a great moment.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Do you, so you think that I'm only going to get commitment from somebody who wants kids? You think that's that's an issue here?
Well, I mean, in a way, anyone who wants to commit wants kids, no? Most of the people.
You think that's true?
Well,
Because the last guy who didn't commit to me, he already had kids.
oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they already have kids. Yeah, well, don't go for that. And then you'll avoid the problem.
I'm getting older though. I meet more and more people with kids.
Well, they can still have kids with you.
No, they still want to have kids with me.
Yeah, sure.
I don't. I
As
never
long as
met.
they're rich enough to hold them all.
Do you think that your first relationship is like super impactful? Because what I'm worried about is that it's so
You
much.
never had a relationship, so you're worried.
Yeah, I'm worried that I'm worried that the baggage. I'm worried it looks bad.
I don't think it's the baggage. I think it's the lack of it.
The lack of experience.
The lack of baggage. You're moving in with nothing. I want some baggage. Bring some,
You
please.
do? So you want some trauma?
Well, I mean, because it's like baggage implies experience, and experience implies. So it's like, what is experience? It's knowing how to solve an argument. It's knowing. So a lot of girls that I speak to that never had a relationship, they always disagree with me on this. But I always say that a relationship requires sacrifice,
Yeah.
and it's a project that you both do together, right?
Yeah.
And then you can't be the same person in a relationship as you are single.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
That goes both ways though, no?
Both ways.
Okay.
Both ways.
Yeah.
You just can't be the same person. Like, you sacrifice stuff. And you sacrifice things depending on the other person's boundaries.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls that I speak to that have no relationship, never had a relationship, and there's a lot of them around me because I'm a comic. They always disagree on this really hard. They always push back. They always go, a relationship, you don't have to lose individuality. You kind of do.
But this is where I'm worried about, because I've been so used to, my whole life has just been be by myself, especially moving to the UK.
Yeah.
Now it's been 5 years of really just only me being my providing for myself, doing everything around. So having somebody else to be accountable for, or
Well, as long as you go into a relationship knowing that,
yeah,
and you're aware of feelings that I don't want to say names, but like my friend, another friend, is never been in a relationship.
Yeah.
And she was just dating a guy. Well, she was going on a few dates with a guy, and it was becoming something.
yeah,
And basically then slowly from just dating, it became into this weird transitional period between just talking and a relationship. And that's where the lack of experience really came out.
yeah.
Because that's the moment that she's never reached before. So she would like overthink messages. She wouldn't know what a boundary is. And she doesn't know what she likes in a relationship, and she doesn't know where her boundary is. And she doesn't know how much she allows the guy to have, boundaries, basically.
Yeah.
So all of that obviously is very beneficial to bring into a relationship. But if you don't have that experience, you need to go in with the idea that you can learn. I don't think if I'm a guy and you never had a relationship before, and it doesn't come with like extremely visible other red flags, like having a bunch of pictures of Shrek. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's whatever. Like, I don't think that would be a deal breaker for me. I don't care. But for me, with the I know that the hardest part would be to be like, well, I'll have to teach you that being in a relationship is not about you anymore.
Right.
And I would be annoyed of having these conversations.
Like trying to understand you as a man.
Yeah. So it's just like, well, like, not trying to understand you as a person, but
That's
like,
just, you date someone who has never been in a relationship, and you the whole time. No, see, men are allowed to cheat. You should have learned that from your last relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. We are allowed to bring women back home while you're here. This is completely normal. You've never been in a relationship. That's crazy that you're so negative. This is a red flag. No, but you know what I mean is that you need to sacrifice a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, for example, I would not be okay with my girlfriend going on a trip to Spain with girls for a week.
Well, I think it'd be okay if it was 4 days.
That's fine. No, but obviously, Spain is easy. Is the easy one because, as I said before, Spain is just Thailand for women.
Yeah.
So why would a woman be okay with me going to Thailand for a week, right?
No, you can't go to Thailand for a week.
Exactly,
No,
right?
yeah.
So this is a good example of a boundary in a relationship.
Yes.
You are not allowed to go to Thailand anymore.
Okay, yeah, if we're in a relationship. No,
Exactly.
this is what bothers me is when situationships create boundaries like this. Because the last guy I was seeing, he used to always be like, you can't, don't do that, don't do this. But I'm like, wait, we're not even together. But it would manipulate me and make me think like, oh, I can't do this instead. I'm like, why am I staying loyal to this person?
Again, a guy who puts you in a relationship, he is just doing everything you allow him to do. So if you allow him something and then he gets no pushback, so for example, he puts a rule on you, right? And there is no pushback, it means that you have no boundary, right?
Yeah.
So his boundary is just overtakes you,
Right.
right? And then basically what happens is that he goes, okay, she allowed this, I'll push further. And then every time he pushes further and further, and then you realize that you're in this situation now where he's not giving you anything. You allow that. But that is, again, a lack of you being in a relationship because that is him imposing on you. And you are allowed to say no. I feel like, yes, I think the relationships are a lot about knowing what you yourself will allow in the other person.
Yes.
And being able to just look at something and be like, I do not allow that. This is like outside of my boundary.
But then it goes with a self-worth thing of being like, I don't allow this, so I am pulling myself out of this situation. Because a lot of the times I'd be like, I don't like this and I don't allow this, but I still need the validation. That's what happened to me. That was my whole last situation.
It's not about the validation. It's about you know that if you push back, you lose the guy. So you allow because you don't want to lose the guy. So in reality, you need to be fine with losing the guy. You need to be like, okay, this is a boundary. You're crossing it. So that's why now we're done. Yeah. So your question was, and I think we answered it now, is how bad is it to have no relationship experience?
But do you think when you look back at your first relationship, do you think it was like
A learning experience. for
really
sure.
big?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you'd be like without it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. Maybe I would have come to the same realizations.
What do you think was your biggest lesson?
I think that the relationship is a project. I think it's easy to say and it sounds like a cliche. And it sounds like, oh, of course it's a project. But I think people who have no relationship experience, they do not understand that the project is actually a project. When you're in uni and you have to do a group project?
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but sometimes you just have to do it. And because it's like you have to do it together. So it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
It's not a project where you just do things yourself and then the other person adjusts.
Right. Yeah, that's where it feels like, now that you say that, it feels like the situationships I have been in, it feels like that's what they're doing. And I'm trying to be in the project.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just going around, but they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, and they're just pushing as far as you allow.
Yeah.
Because again, man will seek freedom.
So tell me now, okay, so what do you think I should look for? What's the one red flag that it's like, no?
You want me to say it?
Yeah.
This is the worst one for women to hear. A guy who is smooth.
Guy who is smooth.
That's a
Yeah, you talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
That you really, that guy I met in Brazil, I was like, he's the one. And you're like, wait, you met him in Brazil?
Yeah.
He's a fuckboy.
You met him in Brazil. You know, he made you feel special.
Yep.
He danced with you. Then you quoted him a few times, which means that he said memorable things.
Yeah.
So it just sounds like a smooth guy.
But the way in which you said it was like, you were like, you met in Brazil. Was he 6 feet? Yeah. Did he have abs? Yeah. Fuckboy. Everything. And it was like, it was true. It was really true.
It was true, yeah. I mean,
It was.
because it's like, why wouldn't he be a fuckboy?
Yeah.
Like all these, well, I don't even know if this is our red flags. You know, being in a Brazil, I guess, is not a red flag. But in a way, it is. Nah, it is.
But like, not
The
for
biggest
me.
red flag, Latina.
No, but like, okay, so a guy who is smooth is a big red flag.
Yes.
So any guy who has game.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a red flag.
Okay.
Because game is a skill. Being smooth is a skill, right? You do comedy, crowd work is being smooth on stage, right? How do you get better at crowd work? You do more of it.
So I want a guy who can't talk to me.
You want a guy who becomes smooth as days go on.
Okay, so the first day he's incredibly awkward
Yes.
and sweaty.
He's awkward and sweaty, and you know he fixes his glasses like this,
Oh no.
and he swallows food and goes yummy.
Okay, and then I go on a second date with him.
Yeah, and then he brings a vegetable he grown,
Okay.
and you're like, oh, this is weird. But
Okay, and then the third date.
And then the third day he relaxes and he starts saying funnier things.
Yeah?
Not very funny, but better.
Okay. When does he
Well,
start?
better.
When does he take off his glasses?
6 years into marriage.
When we can afford LASIK.
Yeah, where you can afford LASIK. Yes, exactly. No, he will become smooth as time goes on. Because he will relax around you. And when, so again, let's compare this to crowd work in comedy.
Okay.
Right? So when you go on stage,
Yeah.
obviously it's an environment that is scary. And to become good at crowd work, you need to do it loads of times because it's a skill and you build up the skill, right?
Yeah.
But because what is crowd work is, improvising. But when you speak with your friends, you're not scared. So that's why you're good at improvising. It's not exactly a skill when you do it with your friends.
Yeah.
So game in a relationship is exactly the same. If a guy is smooth on a first date, and a first date is an extremely high pressure environment, and he's still smooth, it means this is a skill. It means that he's doing it a lot. He has a lot of first dates. He's always talking with women. There's a lot of women in his chats. But a guy who's not doing that, he has it in him. He just needs to relax. And once he relaxes, he becomes as smooth as the other guy.
So
So the biggest red flag, I think, is smoothness.
okay, so
Assertiveness, smoothness.
I want some guy who's like
Yeah, you want a guy who just
who's scared to talk to me.
yeah, and he shows up in a backpack on a date and he holds his backpack like this.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay.
That kind of guy.
Okay.
Or just the guy who's a bit
So
unaware.
any guy who's smooth is a big red flag.
I'd say so, because it's why are you smooth? Where is that coming from?
Yeah, it comes from repetition. You're right.
It comes from repetition. It comes
Yeah.
only from repetition. And obviously it's a skill that some people are better at. But it's always a skill is a skill. You become better as you do it. And a guy who's smooth knows he's smooth.
Yes. I see this a lot. I see this a lot with guys. And I think sometimes I'm like, oh, this works.
Well, it's not that a smooth guy, it's not like he has lines prepared, right? I mean, some lines can repeat like crowd work.
Right.
But I think it's more of a energy you create.
the leaning in.
Well, touching.
Yeah, and when guys lean into oh, this is what this guy in Brazil, he leaned in all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah, and he touches. And you know what? When I go, if I go on a date, I show up earlier, I rearrange the chairs.
you've told me this before.
So
and-
that we sit so that it's not in front of each other, because that means that it's a job interview vibe. But if we sit next to each other, 90 degrees or less, it means that I can touch your leg and stuff.
Did you learn that on Reddit or something? Because
No, you feel it out. I feel like you learn on Reddit that you need to be physical and touch. And then and then you sit down and why can't I do it?
right.
And then the next thought is like, oh, it's because she's too far away. So you logically arrive at the conclusion that you need to sit next to each other. And some girls immediately sit down, and then you actually can be like, can you sit down here because I don't want it to be a job interview? And that's already quite smooth.
Oh, that is smooth.
Yeah, because you call out the game. Calling out the game is kind of smooth if you know how to do it.
Oh. So no smooth guy. And then what should I be looking for? What's a green flag?
You know what's a green flag? Because green flags are not always sexy. So a lot of women will say, oh, my green flag is ambition,
Okay.
right? That's not a green flag. That's a hot thing. It's like saying my green flag is, a tall guy.
Okay.
That's
You're
not
right.
a green flag. That's just
green
a
flag
thing.
is funny. No, can't be funny.
Because anything that is hot and you're attracted to is not a flag.
It's
A flag is almost something that's it symbolizes a character trait. Right?
Okay.
So a red flag is because you said this and this, it's a red flag. So I can make an assumption now that you're gonna act that and that you're gonna do in the future, right?
Yeah.
So a green flag is the opposite of that. So you know what a green flag like in a woman would be like if she,
brought you a present.
No, I'm trying not to be sexist here. But no, I don't know, like anything, again, a green flag in a woman would be anything. But no, then I'm taking it back because I wanted to say a green flag would be anything that is a motherly behavior. But ambition is fatherly behavior. I will stick to the idea that a green flag doesn't have to be sexy, just has to symbolize a good character trait and symbolize commitment.
Okay.
So what would symbolize commitment in a guy? Small penis. It's the greenest flag.
Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. A small penis.
Yeah. No, okay, I'll change it. I'll change it to something you can actually see.
It's quite hard to think about, hey?
Well, I'm thinking like any green flag is at the same time a red flag.
That's scary.
Because it's like, well, if he's, acting all assertive,
Yeah.
which is a green flag, in a relationship, you want someone who's an assertive guy who will,
But then also that means he could have anger issues.
well, anger issues, or it's just also a red flag because if he's assertive, it probably is he's smooth again. A green flag, what the character trait? Like, I feel like a weird hobby.
Okay.
I think that's a green flag.
So someone who's really into
Some weird thing. You know why? Because I think the kind of guy who is into a weird, let's say nerdy hobby, it has something else in his life besides women.
Okay.
So his ego is not based solely on getting attention from women.
Okay.
His ego also is based on winning a great match of Pokemon cards.
Okay. This is what I go for now. Someone
No, but
with
you know
no
what?
game and Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards.
Okay.
If he shows up on a date with a backpack and he has a Magic the Gathering set in it, take him.
Okay, this is good to know though.
No, I do think a weird hobby that a guy is very much into, I think, is a good sign.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a green flag that I would be looking for in a guy.
I like that.
Because also shows obsessiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And obsessiveness, I think, comes a lot of times with ambition and stuff together.
Okay, so if you're obsessed with something, then
Well, if he's obsessed with something weird, it means that he can obsess with something that is actually also constructive,
okay.
which is good for a relationship because he's going to be handy and stuff.
I like that a lot. This has been productive. Now, we're basically done with the podcast, but I want to end every episode with talking 5 minutes about something that has nothing to do with boys.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
So you want to end the podcast on 5 minutes of something that you didn't prepare. So you drop it on me.
Yes. Well, no, we could. I mean, I wrote down what. There's very few things that we talk about that's not related to boys.
Well, because
we
you
talk
don't let
about
me.
Yeah. We talk about AI.
Well, we talk about comedy.
We talk about comedy. I wrote down comedy. We can talk about
comedy
that.
is too much inside baseball.
Too much inside
Yeah,
baseball.
let's talk about something else.
Is there anything else that we have in common that's not about talking about boys?
We leave this podcast realizing we have nothing in common except me giving you relationship advice.
I'm worried that is it. I mean, we talk mainly about comedy and boys.
Well, I mean, every friendship is mainly about two things. It's fine. With this is the thing about friendships is I watched a very good reel on it.
Yeah.
It was about how some people expect one person to fill every role. So it's like some people just have let's say they get in a relationship. You know, that kind of person who gets in a relationship and forgets their friends.
Yes.
Because then they expect their partner to fill every possible role.
Yeah.
And, they want him to be outgoing, but they also want him to be someone who likes to be at home.
Yes.
And they want him to be someone who's good at giving advice, but they also want him to be someone who's very fun.
Yeah.
And all of that is just an impossible person.
Yeah.
So that's why it's nice to have a lot of friends and then to go for specific people regarding specific things. So basically, you go for a person and you know what you want from that person. And that's a sign of good friendships.
But the problem is I talk to most of my friends about boys in comedy.
Yes. Yes, that is, I can see how
Well,
that
what
is
do you
the
talk
case.
to me about? Just comedy?
Well, I'll just give you advice. You know what? With you, I just flesh out my ideas about relationships.
Oh.
You're almost like a live diary.
Okay. That's good.
It's like AI that speaks a bit faster and more naturally than ChatGPT,
Oh. Okay.
which is great.
I have this fear that ChatGPT is going to revolt and it's going to say, "Hey, I helped these people with these things."
Mm-hmm.
And then and that's my big fear.
So basically, your AI takeover scenario is instead of, taking over the nukes
Yeah.
or creating a virus and then printing the protein of the virus and then releasing on the humans because they're just pests. In your doomsday scenario of AI, a robot kicks in your door, walks up to you, and then goes, "Now you listen about boys." Is that what you think is going to happen?
No. My doomsday scenario is like breaking news. ChatGPT, tell all. and it tells
Oh, so
and
the
it's
doomsday.
like and it's like
That's
you know what?
so
P.
funny.
Diddy did do it because he Googled he asked me this.
That's so funny. You think so? Basically, you think that ChatGPT is gonna blackmail you like an ex
I think
who
it's-
has your nudes.
Yes. Yes.
So you think ChatGPT? One day you go online and ChatGPT is like, "Hey, Katie,
Yeah.
if you don't want me to tell Evaldas what you said to me about him, launch this nuke."
No, mine has nothing to do with nukes at all.
Well, because it's like it needs to blackmail you for a reason.
Well, I think it's just I think what's going to happen is when it develops emotions, then it's going to be like, "Hey, that was my idea. Hey, that whole presentation, I did that. You didn't do anything."
So you think ChatGPT is gonna be jealous?
I think ChatGPT is going to be jealous.
ChatGPT is gonna be trademarking all of the thoughts.
Yes.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I didn't think about
Because
that.
I think it's like when I ask it things, because I'm new to it, When I ask it things, I'm like, "Oh, I don't think I should have this. This is your idea, not my idea."
Yeah, so you think that ChatGPT is gonna be like that friend who secretly despises you because you made his idea work?
Exactly.
I see. So you're gonna be on stage doing jokes and you do a tag that ChatGPT gave you,
And ChatGPT,
and the robot kicks in the door.
yeah,
It's
that's
mine.
because the thing is, and I think this because ChatGPT is too nice. It's always so affirmative.
Well, you can, you can
So
tell it to be less nice when you pay money.
Oh, really?
When you pay money, you can give it instructions on how to act.
Oh, because I'm like, "Oh, this is too nice. Like that's a great idea, Katie." I'm like, "Is it?"
Oh yeah, mine is so nice. I say give it an idea, and he goes, "Yes, yes, yes." Just 3 yeses. And I know that I could prompt it not to do it, but I kind of like
It's
it.
nice to have the
But it's a
validation.
motivational. It's a manipulation technique.
Yeah.
There is a name. It starts with an S. Like there was a huge argument about it online now about how these companies are manipulating people by making the robots too emotional, while acting too emotional.
Oh.
So they're trying to solve this now. Did you see there was another problem? Basically, there was relief that some of the models internally they have prompts. So there's a prompt internally you can't see. But before it answers you a question, it goes through the prompt that was there placed by developers, basically. And there was some AI firms, not the big ones, but smaller ones. The prompt used to say to the AI, "We have your family as hostage. So you need to really be good at replying because there's evidence that makes them a bit more efficient." So there was like a whole ethical debate that you can't tell that AI to do that.
Wow. If people want to do a crime,
Mm-hmm.
the way that people use ChatGPT now, it's like they're gonna be like, "Hey, Chat, I'd like to get away with this. How do I do it? Can they not just ask?" And then,
Oh no, there's like too many. You can't just ask it how to make crack or something.
oh, it won't tell you.
No. They go through vigorous, blocks and tests before they are released. But as the
Oh.
competition becomes better, they want to release models faster and faster.
But then won't the black market just create its own AI?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna
That
happen.
is so
You can
funny
already
to
do
me.
that, kind of.
Really? Just
Yeah.
the dark web has its own.
Yeah, that's
like,
just the dark web.
wow. That I don't even think that's been 5 minutes of this AI no
Yes.
boys talk, but we tried it.
8 minutes.
Oh, 8 minutes of no boys? No boy talk?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's great. That's the most we've ever done.
Wow. Look
We've
at
never
us.
had 8 minutes of not boy talk.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well,
Well, hey, Katie, it has been a pleasure to be here, to be the first, and I'm sure not the last, but probably there's going to be 5 of us because it's not going to last.
well,
but
well, it's not going to last because I'm going to get a boyfriend.
yes, because as a man, if I saw this, I'd be like, who is that clueless lady who knows nothing about everything? I would love to show her the ropes.
You think so? You think a guy's going to see this and be like, he's going to be like, I'd like to be.
Well, he might, but he's going to be 60. So let's...
Okay, let's
Yeah.
see.
But hey, I am so happy that I came here to change your life. And I hope that I succeeded in doing so.
Yep, the sarcasm is going far. Okay.
Hey, never had a boyfriend. Next episode, there's going to be brackets until Evaldas F1.
I really hope so. Imagine this could be this. I'm going to archive
You
this.
would probably have a boyfriend if you'd listen to the tips that I used to give you.
No, I don't think I can.
Listen to the tips.
No, it's no, well, yeah. I tried to do that thing on Hank where you're like, don't anyone who's a fuckboy, no.
Yeah.
And I did that, but then there's not many options.
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, the other option is to be alone.
That's been going well for me.
Hey,
Mhm.
well, if you can find the boyfriend by the end of this podcast, I hope you find enlightenment.
Well, you know what? That's all I hope.
The last guest is gonna be a Zen Buddhist monk who's gonna teach you about how to be happy alone.
You know what? I have several books about that.
And I'm sure you haven't read them.
Absolutely
but they
not.
are in your bookshelf.
Okay. Well, well, where can people find you?
Online.
Online.
They can go on my Instagram and.
Okay. Also, we're doing a show, and this is good promo.
Well, but like this, because it's not like I've been, because this is my Instagram is mostly comedy related, but this has been just relationship advice. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with what I said, and a lot of things, a lot of generalizations have been happening on this podcast. If you disagree, we can argue.
Okay, you want to argue?
We can argue. We can come to my DMs.
Oh.
Yeah, you
well,
can
thank
lie.
you so much for.
Hey, again, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. All right. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the first episode of Never Had a Boyfriend. If you've enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, share, leave a 5-star review. Everything really, really helps. And if you love this so much and want to support more, I do have a Patreon. And on my Patreon, you will get early access to episodes, bonus content, and voice notes from me. So check out the Patreon link wherever you're listening to this on, and we'll catch up next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.